up, YouTube? Today's Mother's Day, May 12th, 2019. We're going to take you through a walkthrough of our beautiful new tender trailer. So as you may or may not know, I grow popcorn. That's what I post a lot on this YouTube page about. But me and a good friend of mine, Gatlin, that we graduated high school together, we also own a custom spraying business. And I'm out here at his dad's where we keep most of the spraying stuff. And last year we used this Volvo, and we had a big 45-foot flatbed, and we had a Hagee sprayer. And we had like $20,000 worth of issues with the Hagee, so we ended up selling it. And that's why we've got the spray coupe for this year. Little bitty spray coupe, which I've still got a year and a half of college left. So I didn't want to get too strung out and owe too much money to too many people, because that's stressful when you're trying to take finals. So what we did was we took the fifth wheel plate off of this truck, dropped this tank on. We bought this tank from an awesome farmer up in east of Ames, Iowa. Nevada, Iowa, something like that. Built the frame for it, put a ball here on the back, and we're going to pull a trailer with the spray coupe. That way, if I'm stuck in class or Gatlin's helping his dad farm, we can still go to the field. It only takes one of us now instead of two like it did last year. Story short, you're here for the tender trailer, not my story. So we've got a 97 Volvo with an M11 Cummins and a 10-speed transmission, 1,800-gallon stainless steel tank. This came off of a Terragator, or Rogator, Terragator is what it was. One of those big three-wheeled things. And we built this frame for it. The frame is just steel tubing channel. I can't remember, it's like 3 inches by 5 inches. Anyways, we ran that the whole length of the frame. Down here, if I can get this, you can't see it. There's a bung. Anyways, this thing's a complete drain out, and there's a bung underneath of there where it all drains to. Well, when we ran this tube, because this is where we suck from, pull in from there, run it through our 2-inch motor, comes here, runs through this, and we can either send it out and fill our spray coupe up, or we can close that off, open this up, and send it back through and agitate the tank. And just agitate it all up. And then this is our 3-inch fill. So we've got our 2,500-gallon tanks and our inductor there, and some Roundup I've got sitting out I need to put up because it's gonna rain. We've got 3-inch coming off of that, fills it into here, so we can fill at the same time we're agitating, because it's 2 different pumps running this. Just last night I built this ladder. This was a pain in the butt trying to step here and then step up here and then get up there. So I just built this. This thing's really handy. It's 2 bolts, some flat steel, and some square tubing. And then I cut a piece of square tubing, the edge of it off, and welded it on there as a stop. That way it doesn't fall back into the tank. See what I mean? It catches it. Catches it so we can hold 1,800 gallons. That'll give us enough for 180 acres of burn down work, or 90 acres of spraying Liberty at 20 gallon an acre. It works really well so far. No complaints about it. This bung underneath is not completely draining. We had to go out the side instead of the bottom because of the truck frame. So we built this that comes out the side, and this gets our last 2 or 3 gallons out. We just put it into a 5-gallon bucket and then top off the sprayer if we're on the last load, or put it in an empty tote if it's something we're not going to use and we're switching over. Where the old fifth wheel went, this is the fifth wheel that would sit on if we're pulling like a hopper bottom truck. Took the fifth wheel off. This is angle iron. I need to paint this. This is angle iron, and we just welded it to that 3x5 frame and then bolted it down. Works really, really well. No complaints about this setup so far. It works awesome. If you haven't noticed yet, our windows broke. Rain was on the way. Didn't have time to fix the window, so we just put a trash bag there. We're gonna fix the window though, because it's really hard to see through that. Back here, the hitch that we built for the spray coupe trailer had a local welding shop welded up. The hitch itself is actually welded onto the truck. It will always be here. We can take the receiver out, but the hitch is welded on. These bolts here, you can take these bolts out. Whenever you take this off, you just lift it straight up. That's just for some added stability. So if you want to take this off, because whenever spraying season's over, we plan on just taking this off, sitting it down, putting the fifth wheel back on, and putting a hopper bottom trailer on it. All you got to do these two bolts, and then take your bolts where the fifth wheel were at. And it literally, you just get your tractor forks, just pick it straight up, set it down. Works awesome. About budget that we've got, tank, I think it was 3,000, it might have been 3,500 plus whatever it took to drive up to Iowa, so $150 in fuel and using a trailer. Pump motor was a Honda 400, 399, 400, I don't know, somewhere in there. Building the hitch and everything was like $500 through the local welding shop. Steel tubing for the frame, a couple $100, maybe, if that, I don't know. We did use a lot of that 3x5. We braced on the inside there. The ladder I built, it was just leftover scrap we had from doing the rest of the project. So I don't even know. I'd count that as free. It's not free, 15 bucks. All our banjo fittings, some of them were used, most of them were new. We're probably at less than $5,000 for this whole thing that well, we're around $5,000. Pick it up, set it on the ground, and then you're still able to use your truck to do semi things like pull a end dump or a hopper bottom. So it's pretty versatile. I like it. If you find one, build your own. They're pretty cool. We did have to cut these fenders down right there, and right there. These set really high because those Targator tires are tall. So all we did was chop this off and then just lower it and weld it back together when we could get straight pieces because it was kind of angled. So worked pretty good. There's not much I would change on it. I've thought about what I could do to make it better, and pretty good.